The days of empty pages are over, and Arteza on them. I don't know, guys. But welcome back, everybody. Thank you for coming through to the channel. Please do not unsubscribe for having to listen to my horrible voice. But as I said, with that corny intro song, we have finished our sketchbook and we're gonna be doing a tour of it today. So I hope that you enjoy the sketchbook, and please tell me what your favorite painting of the sketchbook is at the end of the video. And if you want to, comment in the comments down below at what point you saw your favorite one, or you thought you saw your first favorite one, and then if another one changed your mind, edit it so it could look cool. But let me think, or let me know what you think of the sketchbook tour. Let's get to it. So okay, guys, so this sketchbook, I started it in January of 2022, and I finished it in January of 2022. I don't know if you can see it right there. I don't know how the focus is working right now. Cause I use it on manual, so it's a gauge. So the first page, I made a video on this, and my first page was basically a self-portrait. This sketchbook, I really dedicated it to painting because I wanted to improve on painting, because for years people told me, oh, you gotta add colors to your drawing, and I was afraid of painting, and I would always be like, nah, graphite is better, it's just easier, I could do it faster. And then, but it was just a cop-out, so I wouldn't have to learn how to mix colors. And honestly, it was just that I was afraid to paint because I didn't know how to. But I wanted to dedicate a year to painting, and this sketchbook helped me accomplish a lot of goals that I wanted to accomplish. And I feel like you're really gonna see my progression that happened as I kept painting. So this was the first video that I made, actually, when I did a self-portrait, and this was also, interestingly enough, the first time that I used M.Graham Gouache paints. And I put the colors that I used. I just used a Zorn palette, and I remember that I struggled on this. It took me like 5 days to complete it. But that's something that's also common in my paintings, that it usually would take me a couple of days to complete a painting. And as I was painting on this sketchbook, I'm gonna keep moving it along. Padme from Star Wars. Right here, I forgot from where I got this reference picture. But this was also a video. Oddly enough, some of these paintings are videos. But I forgot what I was talking about. But you're gonna see my progression over the year of me just starting to paint and painting. So this is right here, me going back to my bread and butter, what I enjoy the most, which is drawing. And I feel like I only had like 3 drawings in this entire sketchbook, because I decided to actually like put my drawing stuff away and just focus on painting. So this was a little baby portrait of myself that I made as a self-portrait. I had the picture in my possession for years, and I've always wanted to do it. And also, this was the first time that I drew like an entire figure, the entire body. This was me playing around with my gouache paints. You can see right here that I was testing out some of the colors. This was when I was still learning, or when I was still starting to learn how to mix paints and what happened. So I drew a quick Harley Quinn and Joker portrait. I really enjoyed this one, and I posted it on Instagram, and it did really well. This is an unfinished Frida Kahlo. I don't know why I didn't finish it. I just couldn't get the look at the time, and I think I just gave up on it. Then over here we got a Scarface, and you're gonna see a couple of Scarface or Al Pacinos here because I really enjoy drawing stuff from pop culture, and it was really something enjoyable to do. Um, Once again, I'm not. If you can see, I'm really not that good at drawing hands, but I actually towards the end of the sketchbook, I actually pushed myself to draw like 2 or 3 more portraits with hands in them. Oh, again, after seeing right here how I struggled to draw hands, when I drew Kylo Ren, I made sure to find a reference that had hands so that I could at least incorporate them. And I really enjoyed this one. This one was a real, I feel like, stepping stone into understanding gouache and understanding how to paint. This was a still life that I did actually for a YouTube video, and I really enjoyed doing this. I need to start painting more still lifes. This is a portrait of a friend. Let me see. Let me make sure you can see that. I was using M.Graham Gouache there, but after you let them dry up and re-wet them, they lose a lot of their consistency. Right here, this was one of the few oil paintings that I did on this sketchbook because I wanted to paint a lot, and I realized that oil takes a long time to dry, so I really stood away from them. But here, as how it was the first oil painting that I did, I created a chart of every color that I used and even some mixes, so that I could remember what I did for this painting. A Snoop Dogg drawing because again I felt really uncomfortable because I did a lot of paintings in the past, so it made it so that I was really uncomfortable painting, and I tried doing this one first. This is Razor Ramon, and then I went back to doing Snoop Dogg, and then I just abandoned this painting altogether. This one is quite interesting because I decided to take big pen and actually just start drawing with that, and that's something that I had a lot of fun with. And I then added some mixed media, and I added some gouache around the heads. These are 2 portraits of my niece, and then I did a little painting of I was just watching a nature documentary, and I don't know from where I got this. This was just a study, I guess, because I wouldn't call it a painting. Then right here, this is a video that you guys actually saw. It was Penguin, and I really enjoyed myself painting this one. Here was one of the paintings that I was like, oh, okay, all the practice that I've been doing so far is paying off, because not only from drawing on in this sketchbook, I also been drawing on loose sheets of paper. So this one was the first one that made it so I was like, okay, me practicing is making me improve, and I really enjoyed making this one. And I also really enjoyed making the drops of blood. I really wanted to make this one a print, so that might be something that I do in the future. Might be making prints with a few of these paintings that I have in this sketchbook. So right here we got a Alice in Wonderland painting. We have a little not a little landscape that I wanted to paint. I have Dr. Evil right here from my favorite movie, Austin Powers. Right next to my favorite movies is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but Austin Powers is my number one. Right here, these are a whole bunch of landscapes that I decided to study, and I just did that because I'm not good at painting nature, so it made it so that I could understand colors more. So I just decided to just get a couple of reference pictures from Google and just paint a couple of landscapes. Ooh, this was a very interesting page because I was testing out these fine liners that I got. I got a whole pack of fine liners, and I also got a 120 pack of Ohuhu markers. And I was just trying out some blending techniques that I watched on YouTube, and I just wrote out the colors that I used when I was doing these techniques. And then I painted a little Robin Williams, a poster that did not work out well for me because I don't know what I'm doing when it comes to painting with markers, which is something that I hope to explore more in the future so that I could get better at it. Then over here, this was a self-portrait repaint that I did. And actually, give me 1 second. Let me show you guys this. Alright guys, so this right here was actually a repaint from here that I didn't really like because of the paper that I was using. I was using some Strathmore paper, 300 series I believe it was, and honestly this paper is not very good. I wouldn't recommend that you buy it. I would recommend that you buy Cranston watercolor paper because it's much better than the Strathmore watercolor paper in my opinion. And everything that I mentioned in this video is gonna be used below. Is gonna be linked below in an Amazon affiliate link. I will be getting a portion of whatever you get, but it's not very much. So yeah, this was a repaint that I did, and I really enjoyed doing this repaint because it was the first time that I actually dressed up and actually took a self-portrait that I wanted to paint seriously, and I really enjoyed how it came out. It wouldn't be the final time that I draw a self-portrait. I kind of drew a few more because I lost all the footage, but I did a slew 7-day challenge, and I'll put the picture up right here of what I did for those days. But it's too bad that that video never came out. And then I got Bob Marley right here. Bob Marley, I really love his music. And this is one of those paintings that I also wanted to make a print of. But also, later on in this year, I'm going to be working on another Bob Marley piece that I had for a client that fell through. So I'm going to make it my own and put it out as a print. And I'm also gonna be selling the original, so stay tuned to that video. If you are a fan of Bob Marley and would like to purchase it. But this one I want to make prints out of. I really enjoyed it, and this one, just like the penguin one over here, it was one of those that really made me proud of sticking to painting because I could see progression in my painting style, and it's something that you're gonna see throughout the rest of the sketchbook because I feel like I got more expressive as I went on. Here, this is for a bigger project that I will be finishing hopefully by the end of the year, and you'll see soon. This was a failed painting from a reference on Pinterest, and I'm not gonna lie, it was just the material that I was using. The M.Graham Gouache was acting all weird and shiny, and then some of the pigments weren't acting as they were supposed to, and it really made it so that it wasn't an enjoyable experience. So I just ditched the painting. Right here I was drawing a whole bunch of references, and I got a little circle maker, I don't know what you call it, but I was just making circles and drawing inside the circle. Some more Star Wars right here. I got Darth Vader and Anakin Skywalker. As you all know, Anakin was Darth Vader before. Darth Vader was Anakin before he was Darth Vader. Right here, I just went on Pinterest and I was trying out the Hemi paints, but they really weren't working out that much for me. I really didn't like them, so I just, again, I ditched this painting. Ooh, right here was super awesome because I was going to a friend's house and he had a couple of gargoyles, like little statues, and I was just painting from life. And then he had a whole bunch of fishes, so I was beta fishes, so I was just painting them, and that was a really enjoyable time for me because I just sat down and I had these pens that I bought. I don't even know where they're at. They might be in my drawer. Let me see if I find them real fast. Ooh, yeah, I see them right here. So I just found these pens like at a 99-cent store, and I just started scribbling with them, and I really enjoyed doing that. That was something that like helped me refresh myself for when I kept moving forward. But right here, these were some portraits that I took from Pinterest. This was a model that had a Star Wars like themed dress on, and I really wanted to draw the pose. And she had a leg tattoo that I wanted to draw, but I didn't have that much time. I had to go out that day, so I just got to that and I left it there because I really enjoyed how it looked. So one of my coffee cups that I drew from life like in 30 seconds. That was like it was really fun. Sometimes you just gotta pick up a pen and just scribble stuff in. Right here, I wanted to see what it would look like if I painted one painting in gouache and one in oil paint, but I never really got to finish these. I kind of moved on because after painting the oil paint version, I really didn't want to paint the gouache version. It was just a drag for me after a while. So I just moved on with the sketchbook. But if you don't know who this is Iron Man, Robert Downey Jr. This is when he's about to snap. Ooh, this was an enjoyable day. This was 4th of July, and I had these shades that you put on, and everything was blue. So I was like, okay, I'm not gonna put any blues on my palette, but I'm gonna paint with everything besides blue with these shades on. And this was how everything came out. If you've seen Stranger Things, you know who these are, Eleven and Vecna. These are some paintings that I want to make posters of, because this one I just made it like really loose. I pretended that my gouache was watercolor and I made really diluted versions of watercolors, and I thought it was just poetic to paint Vecna like in a dark, cool place, which is technically where 11 or L is in when she goes to like her portal, her world, to communicate with other people and like her telekinesis powers. So I just found it interesting to paint like 11's world when she needs to use her powers, and then I wanted to paint 11 in Vecna's colors for his world and play off of that a little bit. So yeah, this is something that I wanted to make prints of. So if you would like to see me make prints of any of these, please let me know in the comments down below. This was another Stranger Things portrait, but I never really got to finish it. Right here, I really enjoyed painting these because these were two portraits that I painted, and I was like, damn, like I really like hit my stride, and I really started enjoying and feeling comfortable with the painting process. And this Tupac and Biggie painting was like awesome to paint. I didn't even take that long to paint these. These are like 2-hour paintings each, and I really enjoyed myself. These are also two paintings that I wanted to make prints of. Ooh, I got an interesting story about this. So this, if you ever wondered what happens when you mix acrylics and oil paints, this is what happens. Your pages start to rip up because you think, oh, his acrylic paint, I could just close it, and then you go and you open it, you like, what's happening? And you go, and you open it, right? And you like, what the hell? And you like, you just looking like, why did it do that? Like, this is acrylic paint, it dries. And then you come over and you look at your tube of paint, and you just see that your phthalo blue is an oil paint, and you mixed oils with acrylics, and it had a really bad texture. I had to leave it open for a couple of days. Then I took some of this thinner, and I dipped a little towel on it, and I rubbed it all over, and took as much of that oil paint that hadn't dried off, and then I put a sheet of paper on it, just because I wanted it to stick, and then I could unstick it, and it made a really cool like texture that I really enjoyed. But I never got to finish this. I'm never gonna finish it because that was a mistake on my part and an interesting story to tell. So I'm gonna leave it like that. Chris Farley, R.I.P. bro. But one of my favorite comedians of all time, Chris Farley, Tommy Boy. This was like Chris Farley. Like, I can't even say how much of a fan I am, because like, it's sad that he died how he died, but he was a really funny individual. And if you see like his documentary, he wasn't even like a bad person. So it's really sad to see when good people are gone. Right next to him, I put Zendaya, and this was the whole challenge. Nobody could draw Zendaya, and I was like, really? Let me check. And I have to say that it's true, because wow, like I feel like this doesn't even look like her at all. And I was like, as I was painting, I was like, oh my god, this does not look like Zendaya. And I was like trying to give up on it, but I was like, screw it, let me just finish it. And yeah, Zendaya is super hard to paint. Right here, this was just a Pinterest model, and I don't know what happened here. I think I just started painting this, and then I had to leave, and then I came back to it, and I lost the reference picture. Like, I don't know, I could never find the reference picture, so I just left it as is. So it's in the final steps, and I believe that I have another one like this right next to it. And this one was a graphite pencil drawing of Tony Montana, and I really enjoyed doing this painting. I really enjoy painting Al Pacino. I'm not gonna lie to you. This was a really enjoyable drawing to do, and it was after this right here, after the Zendaya painting, it was really something that I fell back to my comfort zone, because I felt a little bit devastated. But then I felt like right here I bounced back during Halloween season, because I got to draw some of my favorite things. Right here I painted Wednesday Addams, and this was for a review for Hemi Paints, and I really like bashed Hemis, but I have another pack of Hemi paints. Give me 1 second. Right here, and I've been using them. They are, I realized that if you take them out of their palette and put them somewhere else, and you let them dry, they're not gonna work as well. You have to take them directly out of the cups. So I figured that out recently, actually. So I'm actually gonna make another video on the Hemi paints later on this year. Ooh, I got boobies right here. So I'm gonna put my finger right there, because I don't want to get demonetized. Well, not demonetized, I just don't want to get shadow banned. But right here, I was using the Hemi paints. I was testing them out. Oops. My camera died. Hold on. Alright, so I'm sorry about that, guys. My camera died. But right here, I was drawing a figure, and I was testing out the Hemi paints because I was really like in shock on the quality that the paint had, because I really used them for the beginning of when I started painting, and I guess it's just because I started using more professional paints that they became obsolete to me quickly, because these how they're cheaper, they become harder to use because there's like less pigment, and as an artist you get used to being comfortable with using the more expensive paints, and this showed. So actually it made me start wanting to use the Hemis even more now, because if I'm struggling with cheap paints, maybe there's something that it could teach me. So I'm gonna be using them even more now actually than I used them before. Alright. This was a Caravaggio study that I was doing, and I just drew it in real fast. And I never really got to painting. I've never been a fan of drawing and then painting over the drawing. I feel like to to me, I feel like I wanna paint and draw at the same time. So I wanna draw with the brush how I usually do. I just got used to it because I felt like I wanted to learn it like that, and I got used to it really quick because I felt like my paintings were super tight in my first sketchbook. And the reason that I felt like that was because I would draw everything in before I painted. So I just started painting, drawing as I painted, if that makes any sense. This was a Bray Wyatt painting, which I actually do want to make some prints of this, because this was one of the greatest comebacks in WWE history, and it was during the Triple H era of WWE, which is sadly ending. Hopefully not, but if Vince McMahon comes back, it feels like the WWE is gonna be whack again. So yeah, I hope that he doesn't, and I hope that Bray Wyatt goes on to do bigger things. By the way, since he come back, he hasn't wrestled one match, and that sucks. Like, it is almost the, we're 2 weeks away from the Royal Rumble. Give us a little teaser, a little match, just to like, stop being stingy with us. Give us something. I want to see Bray be in the ring already and wrestle. Like, I understand you want to make his return epic, but that's it. We've had like 6 weeks of promo. Okay, let me stop complaining about wrestling right now. Okay, so this was during Halloween. This was supposed to be dropped for a Halloween video, and I never dropped it. I don't know why. I did drop an Instagram post. If you would like to see it, my Instagram is in the description. But I never got to finish the video, and then by the time I did get to finish the video, Halloween was over. So I just dropped the video. I saved it in one of my hard drives, and I never came back to it. Let's keep going. This was for a bigger painting that I was just planning out for Christmas that never came to fruition. Right here, this is for a even bigger painting, and I just wanted to draw something that gave me the idea. So this is a concept for a painting that I may or may not do. I'm gonna be honest with you, because sometimes I just think of stuff and I just start drawing, and this is one of those cases. Right here, I reset my Hemi gouaches with water, and they still were not good. And that's when I decided to open my mind to try the Hemi gouaches straight out of the tube or the pot, and they worked wonders after that. Right here, I got some acrylic paintings. These, I didn't use any images. I just went with my acrylic paints because I want to use all of them up, and I straight up just started painting just to paint. Right here, this is Lucy Scarlett Johansson, a painting that I never finished. And I feel like the reason I never finished this one is it was because I got disinterested in it really quickly. So I just never finished it. Mike Tyson. So I have a reel saved of this that's ready to be uploaded for Instagram. But I really enjoyed painting this. And I really enjoyed the journey that it took me to paint this because I started painting this and I was upset because I couldn't get young Mike Tyson to look correctly. And then at the end, I just decided to finish it. I just gave myself 30 minutes and I was like, you know what? Wherever it gets to in these 30 minutes is where it gets to. And then right next to it, I drew an older Mike Tyson. And this one was way more easier for me to paint and enjoyable. And I really enjoyed making this one. And it is one of those pieces that I'm like, damn, I'm really proud of this piece because it took me a while. And the tattoo, like it took me like a long time to put the brush on the canvas to even start painting the tattoo because it was a really intimidating subject to paint. Right here, well, you've seen the video for this one, my Pulp Fiction piece, which was honestly my funnest piece in the sketchbook to paint. In my next sketchbook, I am gonna be painting more wider, and I'm also gonna be painting more loose, in loose sheets of paper because I really enjoyed painting at a bigger scale. And then the final page on my sketchbook, my self-portrait. And this was the self-portrait that I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm the most proud of because from the beginning to the end, you can see a lot of improvements and a lot of places where I struggled, like the ear and the nose, painting at an angle, which was something if you look at a lot of my paintings was something that I struggled with. So I would avoid it. Actually, I wouldn't never want to paint at an angle, and I decided to paint at profile because that's something that I needed to improve at, and I really enjoyed it. So let me know which one is your favorite painting from this sketchbook, and let me know if you would like any prints of any of these paintings that I have over here. But till next time, guys, remember to rate, comment, and subscribe. And like Mick Foley always says, leave a like on the video and press the bell for notifications. Be the first to get notified and come and like these videos. And the first to see my artwork. I'm going to be dropping a lot of videos in 2023. So we're going to get to it. Peace. And I'm out.